Hello and welcome to Some of My Friends Read Comics. We've got Chris.
Me have nothing nice to say.
We've got Vince.
The only way this is going to end is with Carnage's death.
Oh, is that how it ends? I'm Kia. Hi, welcome to the show. We're reading Carnage, Maximum Carnage, not Ultimate Carnage, Maximum Carnage. It's the most Carnage. That's right. And does it end with Carnage's death?
That's what they say. I honestly, I'm like going back through my notes. Like I read this today. I don't remember how this ends.
Yeah. So
he doesn't die, Vince.
Oh, yeah. We never saw Carnage again after 1990. Whenever this was. When was this again?
This was
93.
93.
Or in the video game in 94. We're reading Maximum Carnage Part 2, so...
Right. It was a big old thing of 14 parts spanning all the different Spider books, and we did the first 7 parts last time. We're finishing it off this time. Death of Carnage forever.
Yep, definitely not going to be in 10 years ripped in half and thrown out of the earth.
Oh, God.
And still be fine. He's fine. He's doing great.
Yeah, it's actually, he recovered from that horrible story.
Yeah, Carnage is apparently invincible, I think, and that's okay, I guess. Well,
let's do a check-in, because I actually tried to do a deep dive and read about Carnage's history post this, and it made no sense.
We'll check in at the end, and we'll come back to that.
Especially the last 5 years, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. We're also, make sure, stick around. We're going to read All-Star Superman number 8. We're going through that.
We am not going to read.
Yeah, that's right. Me am not reading No Moon Superman number 8. Great. So, where were we? Let's check in with the first half of Maximum Carnage, refresh our viewers of what happened. Carnage was trying to kill everybody, and he has a team of bad guys, and then Spider-Man joined Venom's team of, good guys, but, good with a question mark. And Spidey is like, but I'm good. I'm not going to be mean like Venom and Black Cat.
That's the point.
That's the point.
We learned that from the foreword by J.M. DeMatteis.
Yeah.
But then...
Vince, if I could put you on the spot for a second, how many of Carnage's team can you name right now?
Oh, of this particular team? We got Shriek, she yells. She's got sonic powers, and she makes everybody
That's one.
evil. We got the Demogoblin.
Two.
We got the Doppelganger.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Carrion.
Great.
Carrion, my wayward son. Is Deathlock a good or a bad guy?
Good.
Ah, shit. Is there any more?
That's it for his team, right?
I think you've got all the major ones, yeah. Carrion's the big one. I didn't think you would be able to get.
And all of Brooklyn.
Oh, yeah, all the mobs. The mobs of people have gone crazy.
And Peter Parker's dad.
Oh, yeah, Richard Parker.
Wait a minute, did we get any resolution? No, that's okay. We'll find out. I don't remember. So we on Team Venom or Team Spidey, however you want to look at it. Who do we got? We got Black Cat. We got Cloak.
We don't have Dagger because she dead.
No, Dagger's dead. Yeah. We got Firestar.
Oh yeah, Firestar. I love her costume, by the way. We got Morbius.
Morbius, who's just asleep most of the time in his coffin. That's pretty good.
Hilarious to me. That is hilarious that Morbius just pieces out for issues because sorry, y'all are having adventures in the daytime. I can't help.
I can't. I'm sorry, man. It's so good. Don't be friends with a vampire during the daytime. We got some others who join us throughout this thing.
Iron Fist, I think, showed up at the end.
Yeah. Iron Fist is about to join, I think.
Iron Fist, I was very confused when I saw Iron Fist show up alongside Deathlock as well. Wait, what? Where are we? What's happening here? That's okay.
There's more heroes that show up.
And at least one mystery guest we have not mentioned.
What? I love mystery guests. Not a dude in a shadow, though. That's different.
No.
Anything else that we really need to talk about? MJ's mad.
Yeah, Peter's parents are alive. Peter broke his ribs, and Peter's his central conflict is whether or not he should kill the other Venom and his team want to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna see how that plays out. So let's get right into it. The first thing that happens is we finally pick up the J. Jonah Jameson story as well. J. Jonah Jameson was so scared of Carnage. And I'm like, I'm back on board with this little beginning. I'm like, this is going to be great. Second half is going to be much better than the first. And it's, Venom and Spidey and Black Cat and Cloak. And they're like, J. Jonah Jameson, we need your help. We need you to set a trap for Carnage so we can get him. Because everyone knows that Carnage reads the newspaper. So we need you to put something in the newspaper that Carnage is going to see. Because they've got this, like, that gun, the sonic gun, right? And they're
they got the sound power gun, and they got Firestar's fire powers, and that's what kills symbiotes. We got this in the bag. We definitely don't have 7 more issues of this. We got this in the bag.
Oh boy, we get some Carnage flashbacks, some Deathlock and Iron Fist in space.
The Carnage flashback is so just like boring and rote. He's like, people were mean to me, and then my dad was mean to me, and now I'm a murderous villain. And I'm like, am I supposed to be sympathetic towards you? I don't know. I don't get it. I don't care. It's fairly rote.
I don't know.
It's not good.
You're not supposed to be sympathetic because this is a black and white issue with just a few grays in the middle. But we know that Carnage is evil, and so no sympathy for him, right?
Right.
I
do love the cover to this issue, though. It's got Venom with his sonic gun, and it says, "No more Mr. Nice Venom." And I'm like, yeah, this cover is awesome.
There are some good covers here. I like the art a lot better in the back half. Maybe I was reading less of the words, and what it was, I don't know.
And one thing I read another review of this book, and one thing they pointed out is that, like, if Todd McFarlane had done this, it would have been a mess because he'd be like, he drew cartoonish versions of everyone, so like his version of like Deathlock and all these other characters would be completely off model. So the fact that they all basically look alike issue to issue is, credit to these 4 artists. Actually, 5.
Yeah, it doesn't feel super jarring jumping from different styles to different styles. We were sharing some panels over the course of the week here, and I said, "Oh, that looks like kind of like a Bagley looking face." I didn't realize Mark Bagley did some issues that we already read last time around. I don't know if we mentioned his name.
Bagley designed Carnage.
Yeah, he's the Amazing Spider-Man artist.
Oh yeah.
Him and Michelin created Carnage, so he designed him. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Bagley, of course, is most known for Ultimate Spider-Man.
Although, did Eric Larson? I don't know the answer to this. I know he created Cletus Cassidy, so he may have had a design for Carnage that he never used, because he basically just drew the Joker without makeup, and it's like, this is Cletus Cassidy. Here he is.
Oh shit, he really is. Like, I know that like the Joker parallels, and of course, like I'm watching this when like the Joker trailer came out, the most recent Joker trailer came out. And I'm like, this just looks like... That's why I'm like bored by Carnage's origin.
Yeah, same old.
Yeah, he's very much a derivative version of the Joker, especially the part where he's a serial killer first, but then he gets superpowers so he can fight Spider-Man.
I do love the maw, though, on Carnage's like mouth, how it just doesn't, like, you can't see into it. It's just like this weird... negative zone thing. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the negative space is very good in all of that. And I like in that Times Square thing where the cameraman apparently went right into his mouth.
Yeah, that was a real big... It took a bite out of crime, I think, was the joke.
Yeah.
But that was last episode. Now
Yeah.
So what happens here? We get a big old fight between good guys and bad guys, and it ends with the sonic gun and the fire all being shot at Carnage, and that's it. End of the series.
Spider-Man whiffs it. Spider-Man whiffs it. Spider-Man's like, well, actually, we were about to kill the serial killer who literally has had the worst mass killings in New York City of history ever up to this point. He's murdered 50 people at this place, then went downtown and murdered 50 people at a club and everybody at Ravencroft. But we can't kill him, guys. That would just be bad. And basically, like, he makes it so this arc has to go on 7 more issues. Like, a lot of blood is on Spider-Man's hand. And spoiler alert, he's going to whiff it a few more times in this book.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair to him, I don't know if it was in this Spider-Man number 36 or Spectacular Spider-Man, Firestar whiffs it pretty bad, too.
Yeah, heroes don't understand.
Yeah.
Which
Heroes
I
don't
I
understand.
guess maybe Firestar forgot because she hasn't been here for the rest of this. But she's like, oh, I can't kill somebody with my microwave powers that literally could kill everyone with radiation at any time. I can't kill this mass murderer.
Yeah. Yeah, the next issue, they're just like, the fight obviously has to continue because Carnage is not dead. And Spider-Man and Firestar are just standing there going, you guys are too vicious. I don't know if we're going to get in this fight here. And Black Cat says, are y'all fucking kidding me? And they go, okay, I guess you're right. I guess we'll fight. And I feel like that's all it took. And they have a nice big fight. Good guys lose. There's a pretty surprising panel where this mob of angry people comes up and absolutely smacks Black Cat in the head with like a trash can lid. It was like a what the gave me a moment like that. That's all. And Morbius gets little by little everybody's getting downed. I guess it's not daytime because Morbius is out there fighting with them too. We get Venom, who gets like de-venomed here. Not really like totally de-venomed.
The sonic gun gets turned on.
They sonic gun him, and they kidnap Eddie Brock. No, we lost the leader of Team Venom. Spidey's down on the ground. He's sad because the good guys have lost this fight. And guess who shows up to help Captain America? Oh shit! I spoiled it. Fuck! Guess who shows up to help Spidey?
Hell yeah!
You're never gonna guess. It's Captain America.
Well, howdy, Pilgrim. I'm Captain America.
Mm-hmm. You look like you could use a hand. Great. What does Captain America do in this? He takes them back to Avengers Mansion, and they do some research, which is I don't know why you need research for it's Carnage. We just need to kill Carnage, but they're going to do research, and they're going to pick up on the signal of Deathlock, and they think he's a villain. And Iron Fist, hold on, I don't know what's going on here, to be honest. But my panel of the week is when they are able to hack into the computer feed and see Iron Fist, and Iron Fist is he looks like he's been caught on the computer. I like that panel.
That's pretty good.
Which is weird because Captain America is like, oh, I don't know, this new character Deathlock. He knows the old Deathlock. I don't know why he's suspicious of this Deathlock. He's like, I don't know, a different cyborg man who hacks into computers. I only liked that other one from the 70s.
Chris, I have a question. What's the status of the Avengers at this point? In all the Marvel movies, every hero, whenever they have a solo film, is like, why don't you call the Avengers? Obviously the Avengers are a big deal. Are the Avengers a big deal in the Marvel Universe at this time to the denizens of the Marvel Universe?
I think to the public, yes. They're still, I would say, the lead hero group in the world. But to people reading month to month, absolutely not. Okay. You do see in one of these issues, I think it's not coming up until later, the team at the time was I think Tom DeFalco, who writes Amazing Spider-Man. He actually wrote Avengers as well. And it was Black Knight, Black Widow, Crystal, who married Quicksilver, Cersei, one of the Eternals, which is going to be a TV show or a movie.
No, it's a movie with Salma Hayek and Angelina Jolie and Kumail Nanjiani.
All right. Well, I assume Angelina Jolie will probably be Cersei if I'm just stunt casting. And then I'm forgetting someone. Hercules.
Thor was there.
Thor was there, but he was like a reserve member because this was when Thunderstrike was splitting time with Thor, a different guy who had some of Thor's powers. So yeah, it was a weird time for the Avengers because Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor were not in the monthly issues very often, and even Wasp and Hank Pym weren't there. Oh, Vision was also there.
Okay.
So it's a weird group. The drama, the soap opera parts were all about Black Knight, who was like, oh, I'm in love with Crystal, but she's married to a guy who's on another team. I don't know about this. Which is a really
down, by the way.
A really weird soap opera, triangle of Quicksilver just showing up every 6 months when the X-Men would cross over to be like, hey, leave my wife alone.
Yeah, they. I guess the Avengers don't have a whole lot going on these days. This is like Captain America can just like monitor everybody else's comic books to hop in when they need help. That'd be an interesting character gimmick. The one who just interrupts everyone else's.
Yeah, well, Captain America has his own problems. This is around the time that somebody wrote in and it was like, "Isn't the super soldier serum basically steroids?" And they're like, "No."
I know. I read a Captain America story to my son tonight, and it's basically like, and he took drugs and then was a superhero. It was amazing.
Yeah. So they basically had him go into super serum withdrawal, where he became super weak and old around this time.
Wow.
And so he had to wear like an Iron Man suit to hide the fact that he was weak.
That's pretty good. I'll take old man Captain America wearing an Iron Man suit. That's
No,
I like that.
I don't think so. I don't think I will.
Well, Phase 7, we're gonna get it. Just all right. So
Whoa, that would be great. Sorry, that was a mild in-game spoiler, I guess, but that would be awesome if Chris Evans came back like in 50 years.
As a 70-year-old man.
Yeah, I just want, we've been saying it for years. We just want old people playing superheroes. I think that's what the world is clamoring for.
Yep.
I
want them to always be 20 years older than me.
Yeah, that's good. That way I am forever young. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, Batman should be like in his 50s. That makes sense.
It does. It makes perfect sense.
I think Ben Affleck is close to 50, so...
He is in his late 40s when he was in the Batman movies. But anyway, so the point is, Carnage is running amok.
Look, I wrote, this is my only notes that I wrote for this issue. A whole lot of nothing, but the end is Spidey, Captain America, Firestar, Iron Fist, and Deathlock.
Okay, so I got a few. I do have a few notes here.
Oh,
so
okay.
One, I like that Cloak calls it Shriek and Her Twisted Family, because in Cloak's mind, Shriek is the hero, or is the lead villain. Which this book actually like kind of turns her to the main villain for a while.
It really does, yeah. But I think he was referring to like how they're all calling her like mom, and like really, she has turned it into like a family as opposed to Carnage, just like, I'm just gonna kill.
But
she's like, we're just gonna kill together.
Yeah, but for the next 3 issues, Carnage and Venom are pretty much off the sidelines because Carnage is tied up Venom. And so Venom just doesn't do shit for the next 3 issues.
Yeah, and Carnage just tortures Venom for a few issues.
Yeah, and then I also... Black Cat almost dies. I have Spider-Man comes home to be at MJ, and then in the next scene is suddenly doing something at a prison. I don't know how that happened.
Oh, yeah. What was he doing in that prison?
I don't know.
Yeah, there's like a radio thing about a breakout or something, so he had to go do that like separate from Carnage. I don't know why.
His ribs got healed by the magic Avengers something. And then showed up.
I mean, he boned MJ and that healed his ribs. Let's figure out.
Boning.
Yeah, who was that Spawn guy? Spawn shows up, and I don't know.
His name is Nightwatch, but it's Spawn.
Yeah, he actually predates Spawn, but yeah, it's Spawn.
He's got the black costume. He's got the white Venom eyes. He's got like a cape that kind of comes up with points that's kind of red and black. I'm like, holy shit! Like, because you were talking about Todd McFarlane drawing this. I'm like, yeah, well, Spawn still would have been in it.
Oh yeah.
So Spawn does something at some point, and that's pretty much it. And then we're gonna tame a wild city.
Tame the wild city. All right, on to issue 11.
Amazing number 380.
Yeah. Computers make your life better, son. Stealing them doesn't. That's a quote that somebody in this book said, and I thought it was silly, so I wrote it down.
Yeah, so Carnage is torturing Venom with his B team of Doppelganger and Carrion and Demi-Goblin and then they're bursting because they're being chased by Morbius and Spawn. They're like, holy shit! That was a bad fight, and Carnage is like, this is bullshit. And then you cut to Captain America driving a 3-person flying saucer. And Spidey...
Which, by the way, Carnage is torturing Venom in the Statue of Liberty. So that means that Carrion and Demi-Goblin had to be chased across all the way, to the island, basically. Like, it's not like it's right there. Like, they're kind of out of the way to be...
Carnage goes out of the way, as we stated in Minimum Carnage, when he destroyed the Galleria in Houston and then went to destroy Space Center Houston, which I just made that drive, and it is a fucking long drive. I did that this weekend. From down... It is like... My grandma lives in Houston, and I drove to another part of Houston, and it took an hour because it was 50 miles away.
Yeah, it's not convenient to drive through Houston.
Well,
but anyway,
look, New York is smaller, and they got webs. They can swing, right?
On what? There's water.
Oh shit! That's never stopped nobody.
Kingo Goblin has a goblin glider. That checks out. I got that part.
Yeah.
Firestar can fly. The bad guy.
Yeah, I think Nightwatch and Morbius can both kind of fly. I don't know if they really can, if they just kind of float. But yeah, they chase the bad guys. Carnage like chases them away, and then the sun comes up. So Morbius is like, "Look, I gotta check out."
You got Molotov cocktails from like the mobs that are like still back on the island of New York, and like just really, there's one panel with this guy with a trash can who's just got like the most sadistic look in his eyes. These people, they're literally murdering each other.
Yeah, I like the people who were like dressed up like they're on Wall Street that are just now like murdering and attacking one another in their three-piece suits, which is you wouldn't take that off when you start your violence gang.
I had a note somewhere about the Molten Man is in this as well. I don't know where he came from.
He's Liz Allen's brother.
Yes.
Okay.
So he's just like holed up with Liz Allen and the Parkers and Aunt May and Mary Jane, just like wearing a sweater, just like, you guys are safe here. It's like, geez, Molten Man, thanks a lot.
Mm-hmm. Flash Thompson's there at one point too. Just kind of like a bunch of mobs are coming after the Parkers, and Flash Thompson saves the day. What a good guy.
Wasn't he? Was he Did he have superpowers?
No.
Okay.
He's
Not
just a
at this
boxer.
point.
He was a semi-pro boxer at this point.
I think Flash was mentioned at the same time that Firestar. What is the Molten Man? Sorry.
Molten Man, yeah. I, for a second, thought that he was
Yeah.
Molten Man. It took me a while to be like, no.
Yeah, Molten Man saved him after like there was too many for a good boxer to fight like five guys.
Because Flash
fought like two.
Oh, okay, that's where I get confused. Flash Thompson, of course, becomes Venom later.
Yes, and he's actually he's dating Black Cat at this point.
Oh, is he? Does he know she's Black Cat?
I don't remember.
We have a moment where Spider-Man is like, this is hopeless. We can't win. Oh, we should wait. We got to talk about this lady who wants to kill her babies.
Is that this issue?
Yes, that's this issue.
He's like taking a break from that to stop and have a conversation with this lady on the roof who's holding her tiny little children off of this ledge.
By their legs, right?
Yeah.
By their arms.
Okay.
This is going to be Kim in like 3 months, right?
If it hasn't been already. I love my wife. She's a great mother. That was a joke.
What does she say? She says, lousy Rugrats, take every minute I have, every penny I have, and give me nothing in return but dirty diapers and stretch marks. I'm sick of... Lady, don't. Spider-Man. But yeah, this, like, the baby is small, for sure. And then there's, like, a toddler, I guess, who looks just, like, minuscule, like the size of her arm, and that's it. Yeah. It's a tiny little child.
Yeah, I would say like a baby, like under 6 months or something like that, and then like a 18-month-old or something.
You also don't like ball the baby by the hand. You hold it at its wrist, or like, it doesn't... yeah,
it's not good. You're gonna separate their shoulders.
I mean, she's gonna throw him off a building, so I guess she doesn't care about safety.
She doesn't care anymore. Yeah, if they're their wrists don't matter.
Maybe this is just a big dig at Rugrats, the TV show.
Ooh, I don't know. Maybe it really felt like it was coming out of nowhere. Like I don't know.
Peter was like, I don't know why I'm even here. I'm not very effective. And I go, yeah, Peter, you're like you suck in this book. Like you're not. I mean, we got Captain America, Firestar, who can like do shit over here and are doing stuff, and you're just like, I don't have the constitution to do nothing.
Yeah.
Very bored by Peter in this book.
Mm-hmm.
And then Venom's not doing shit either.
Yeah. So they're able to say all of the heroes have, like, Captain America inspires, like, a guy is about to break a window, and then he sees Captain America in the reflection, and he like salutes the flag. He's like, I'm sorry, sir.
Mm-hmm. I do like Captain America like beaning Shriek in the back with his shield. That's also awesome. That might be my panel of the week.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and then like Iron Fist like you focuses his chi to like make the crowd calm down. And like what does Firestar do? It's like you don't have any power that would be helpful to this. Like what if I just, put my microwave setting on the lowest level, pop some popcorn, and then we all just chill out. But
Mhm.
somehow she's able to calm the crowd also, and then Shriek is like, "No, this is no good," and turns the crowd evil again.
Yeah, she like super explodes. Was that her power in the first 7 issues, or did this like emerge?
I think it's been like low key one of her powers because
Okay.
we've noticed that the whole city's been going crazy the whole
Yeah.
time, and so now it's kind of explained like, oh, Shriek is doing this. This
Okay.
isn't just like the city has suddenly discovered like nihilism, and now they love chaos.
Yeah.
But instead, it's Shriek is turning them evil, which I guess we'll get to what happens with Shriek.
Mm-hmm. So our next issue spends a little bit more time focusing on some of these torture tactics of Carnage, and he's getting ready to like give that final blow to Eddie Brock with his sonic gun and say, "You're done. We're gonna take you out forever." But what comes out of the gun? It's not Sonic's. Nope. It's Venom's, baby. Venom knew this was coming and separated a piece of himself to put it in the gun, to sabotage the gun, so that when the gun shoots, it would shoot a Venom. Okay.
This is bullshit.
Um,
Like this and another thing that happens, I think, in the next issue is like such like a cop out to me that like I have never seen this power established. Maybe it's been established before, like in another Venom book, but definitely not in this Maximum Carnage book. That this is
Right.
like in the realm of possibility. So it just feels like a Deus Ex Machina of like, but this is how we get out of it.
But I'm like, well, here's what bothers me. Like, okay, there's this piece of Venom that's over here, but you've also got plenty of pieces of Venom that are right here with you
Right.
that are also powerful and capable of breaking free just as much, right?
Yeah.
Well, but he's being the parts of Venom that are attached to Eddie are being actively weakened by the fire.
Oh, okay.
But then somehow he
But
like
then-
separates, and
Sure.
without anyone noticing, that's the part that doesn't make a lot of sense.
I don't know.
And like if we had established that it was like sentient and that it could split apart into like separate sentient pieces, and that had been established like through a line or any other demonstration of that power through this book, I'd be like, oh, that clever bastard! I didn't see this coming.
The part that I didn't like is Venom like pretends to cower, and he's like, "Oh, don't hurt me, Carnage!" And then immediately that he tries to shoot him with the gun, and it's a fake out, and that's like how Venom gets away. And then Venom is like, "I better run away. I'm still pretty weak." I'm like, that doesn't read like Venom at all to me. That he has the like self perception of like, if I fought Carnage, I would lose right now. I better run away. Like he would delude himself somehow and be like, I'm going to save Carnage for later because he doesn't deserve for me to fight him right now. Like Venom is all about self-delusion. And so for him to just be like, oh no, I'm too weak, he would defeat me. That's not Venom at all.
Yeah, and you could establish it that like the Venom was at his lowest point, and that's where he finally like lost his self delusion. But that's not what happens here.
No, he's just suddenly like, my power level is lower than Carnage's. I have to run away. I'm like, that does not read
Venom
like
does not do strategic retreats.
Yeah, like I said, if even if he did do a strategic retreat, he would have some way to be like, this is all part of my master plan to protect innocence and make myself cool because I am the hero. Because he's an asshole. Like that's the whole thing we like about Venom.
Well, that also that kind of continues from the first half of this book, where Carnage was making a lot of terribly non-strategic retreats for no reason whatsoever.
Right,
So,
but-
which also
but-
does it. I don't know.
But Carnage is a coward. Like that's the difference I feel like between the two characters is like if Carnage feels like he's overwhelmed, he's like, this isn't fair, I quit. Whereas Venom is more like he's deluded.
Yeah.
Where he just is like, no, I'm the hero here. So if you're beating me, this must be some kind of cheat. He wouldn't just admit like, oh no, I'm outmatched because he's out of his mind. Whereas Carnage, like I said, is just like if he's a bully. So if someone's beating him suddenly, he's like, no.
Yeah. Speaking of feeling outmatched and unable to win, poor Spider-Man starts to go through some horrible feelings. He's punching chimneys, destroying them. He says, "It's hopeless. It's hopeless. My father was right." And he looks up into the air and he screams, "My father was right!" But then he thinks about Aunt May and he goes, "Wait a minute. No, he wasn't." And like, I don't know, in the span of a few pages, Spider-Man like changed his mind and changes his bat. I don't know. Spider-Man's really not doing much of anything in this book except a lot of flip-flopping, and I don't.
I guess this is where he comes up with his big plan that we see it in the penultimate issue.
The hope gun?
Yes, it's so stupid.
But then like, so Shriek is still like fighting everybody, and so Carnage like rolls up and he's like, "Why were you doing all these murderous rampages without me?" And then he beats the shit out of Shriek. Like, in a real brutal way, like with like neck grabbing and choking and throwing, and I'm like, all ages comic guys, this is like, and then very very consistent with J.M. DeMatteis's writing approach. The next page he's like, forget it, like we're friends, let's fight all the villains, and I'm like, and even her and all the other heroes who were like ready to quit because like Carnage sucks, like all the villains and Shriek were ready to like leave Carnage. Not a page earlier, and then Captain America's like, "I'm gonna beat all y'all up," and like, let's put aside our differences for now and fight Captain America. And I'm like,
well, except Demogoblin, who is dead.
Yeah,
like he tries to protect Shriek, and Carnage just kills him.
Oh, is that what happened? I missed that completely.
Yeah, he's not in the rest of the book. Like, he's just dead, and that's why Shriek is so pissed off.
Wait, are you talking about Doppelganger?
Yeah, sorry, Doppelganger.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought I saw Demogoblin later.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, Doppelganger. Sorry, he is killed at this point, and that's why Shriek gets so pissed off, and then he just beats the crap out of her, and then is like, "No, we're on the same side." She keeps calling them white hats. She's like, "No, we're united against those guys."
Well, I'm confused as to how exactly he kills Doppelganger, which is to kick him and have him fall from a great height, which is not something that would, kill Doppelganger, seeing as how he's been like, is he like swinging around, right?
Yeah, he has Spider-Man powers.
Yeah. So how did falling from a great height kill? I don't know. Never mind.
I guess if he didn't level up his jumping ability, maybe that's he put too many points into his melee stuff, so that his falling skills were not as good as Spider-Man's.
Too bad. Too bad. We also see that Cloak has been working on something. He's been praying, or is that what he's been doing? I don't know.
Just hanging out at the church, just being like, there must be something I can do here.
And it turns out that Dagger is not dead. She was alive inside of Cloak the whole time, which we really kind of knew because there were a bunch of hints throughout the whole thing. But Dagger's here. Hooray.
Yeah.
Chapter...
And then it just turns into Shriek versus Dagger for like half an issue.
No, wait. Yep. Everybody's got to pause on that issue, though, and say, "Hey, wait, how are you still alive?" And Dagger's like, "Shriek, can you stand there for just a sec? Angry? Show some angry faces? I'm going to talk to my friends all in a huddle." Okay.
Yeah, like Shriek, between while they're talking, is like showing the angriest face and like reaching out towards her, but apparently very slowly and just,
Very patient. I'm like, there are way more like dynamic, or dramatic or visually interesting ways to get this information across. Like you could just have somebody punching in the face, like, "Hey, I thought you were dead." Actually, I wasn't, because I was actually in this crystal nonsense. Or just have them fucking, I don't know, figure it out. There's better ways to do this.
Yeah, instead of just talking and showing them talking, you could have action and then, words over the action. I mean, it's not... I don't really care how Dagger is alive, sorry.
Or just not explain it.
Yeah, like...
We'll get to it. We'll figure it out later.
Or like I said, you could have Spider-Man or somebody be like, "We found out later that Dagger blah, 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 blah." If you want to include a text bubble... but then don't put it in dialogue, because why would you explain it now?
Yeah, you can feel like eating pizza at the end.
I hear a lot of. I always see them do this thing where it's like, "Boy, Dagger, am I glad to see you. Can't wait to hear how you made it back this time," or something like that.
Yeah,
I love that.
Sure, yeah, but of course Shriek is very mad because if you recall from our last episode, she was inside Cloak's cloak, and it made her crazy. And then Dagger's like, "Nuh-uh, you were already crazy. The cloak doesn't do that to you. It actually healed me." And so Shriek does not want to hear that, and they have a fight. Dagger throws her little light daggers through Shriek, and then is like, "It's okay, I forgive you if you want to stop fighting and just call it a truce. That'd be cool." And she's like, "Really? You would forgive me after all this?" And Dagger's like, "Yeah, I'm a good guy, and I'm also very dumb."
I'm sure the light, and it doesn't work. And so, like, basically all the heroes are kind of, like, out of it at this point, and it's got to just end with Peter. And I like that. I like that the story's now just got, it's now Spider-Man focused again. Mm-hmm. And then the good bomb shows up.
That part, not so good.
Fucking bullshit. How bad? The only way to beat a bad bomb is with a good bomb.
A good bomb.
Yeah. And again, I read another review of this, and it's like, if you're trying to have a philosophical debate, and the only way to win is a magical machine that makes people good, you lost the debate.
Yeah, that's pretty fair. That's a good. Is this assessment.
In the video game, Chris? I never got this far.
I don't remember if the gun is or not. It might be. I know the fake out is. Okay. I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I'm like, what? I'm reading this, and I'm like, and so basically, okay, they beat up Carnage, and I'm just like, Venom didn't even, like, they're like, Carnage is dead, and I'm like, what the fuck? Venom didn't show up for this even. Venom hasn't been in the. Venom was captured 10 issues ago. Hasn't fought or it's in like part 10. Hasn't fought. We're in part 13. Like, he's in the title of the goddamn video game. I know he's not in the title of this comic book. He doesn't have a solo book at this time. I don't know why I assumed Venom would be like half the book. I guess I just was wrong.
Well, so we do get a nice little surprise at the end here. So, like,
well, no, but that's awesome. He shows up and he's like mad at Peter. He's like, "Why'd you kill him without me? This is bullshit." And then Carnage rises out of the water, and this is also a very cool panel.
It is.
And Venom, and also really good lettering. I'll say. The yes out of Venom's face. It's like when Thor sees Hulk in Thor Ragnarok. It's like that kind of like excitement, and it's a really good final page. I'm really excited about it.
So I thought this was like a dream or something, like a dream sequence, because before, like at the end of the last scene, Carnage is lying there, like defeated, Carnage pieces all around him. The heroes have won. They're like gathering everybody up, and I assume taking them to prison. And how did Carnage get in this damn lake? I have no idea how that happened.
Okay, this is where you stopped reading and just looked at the pictures. What happened was he used the Carnage suit to make another person look like a dead Cletus Cassidy.
No.
Because this is an established power of Carnage's that we've all seen before.
Yep. That's what he did.
This is where...
And then they didn't bother to they didn't bother to like look and double check. They're just like, well, that guy's got Carnage's face on him, so I guess that's Carnage.
Okay.
Like, why would you think that? That's never been established that that's ever his power, that he can just make people look like humans that are dead. Like shapeshifter. Okay. Fucking fine. But it is kind of like a Friday the 13th ending where he comes out of the water.
Yeah, it is cool. And it's right there in Central Park. They're using actual locations. It's neat.
Yeah. Meanwhile, so after that, Peter Parker goes to the hospital to get healed up because I guess the Avengers don't want him anymore.
What? So him and Venom were there. They saw Carnage attack in the lake, and then Peter goes to the hospital and hangs out with his family. He's like, Venom, you got this. It's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that what happens?
Yeah, because we find out Carnage is alive, but he's all messed up. Like, he's very weakened from being shot with a good bomb. So he's able to escape them somehow.
Is that how this ends?
Well, yeah, no. I mean, that's Carnage goes on like a tour of like all his history because he's all messed up.
Oh, that's right.
We're not done. That's not the ending. So we're gonna keep going. We get some scenes with Morbius and Spawn doing their thing.
Yeah, they're like, wouldn't it be interesting if we both had our own separate adventures?
Carnage breaks into a prison to attack. Who is this person? I don't
It was
remember.
just some guy because he broke into his own cell where he got the symbiote because he's doing like a Carnage's origin work because he's lost his mind basically. So he's like regressing more and more to like his, where he was born as the symbiote, where he was born as like a serial killer. And then finally, after leaving the orphanage, he goes to the graveyard where he was born as an orphan, I guess.
Okay. I guess that's all right. MJ and Peter make up, and Peter says, all right, I got to go out and be Spider-Man again because this is the last issue, and we got to make sure it ends this time.
Yeah, and he only tells MJ, he's like, P.S., keep it on the DL. Carnage is alive, and I have to go fight him right now.
So they go... Sorry. Oh, yeah, Venom is also there for a little while, right? Look, I don't know. Venom shows up fighting Carnage in his house. It's got Carnage rules written on it. Yeah, Carnage rules.
Yeah, that's at the orphanage.
Spider-Man's there. They've got a nice little triple threat happening. And at some point, Venom spears Carnage into some generators.
Well, that's at the graveyard.
Oh, they go to look. Everything is drawn without backgrounds for the most part. I don't know. I didn't know where these generators were. Just that there's generators. It honestly doesn't matter too much.
No. Except that Peter is Carnage is like knocks him into the graveyard further, and like he looks at the two graves beside him, and it's Norman and Harry Osborn, and he's like, "What?
Who am I anymore? What do I have to become? Am I going to turn into Harry Osborn because I'm evil now and I'm hurting people?"
No, Uncle Ben's grave though.
No Uncle Ben's grave.
There was no mention of Uncle Ben in all
there was
these things.
Zero. For all the talk about don't forget who you are, Peter. Learn, be your true self and all the lessons that have made you important. There's none of that.
So there were 2 Uncle Ben mentions for our contest. Total.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
you won.
What? I won?
Yeah.
Did I say? What did I say? I said 1.
Yeah, you said 1. I said 4, and Chris said 8.
We got to keep it low from now on. Okay, great. So they crash themselves into this generator, and they're both presumed dead, and that's the end.
But neither of them are dead because Carnage gets loaded into the Avengers. Finally show up, and they're like, "Oh yeah, don't worry, we can put Carnage in the stasis pod. He'll go away for a while." And it's like, "Where have you been, Vision?"
You're right. They're not dead. How did I miss this? I feel like I didn't see this page at all with Venom still alive and.
Yeah, and then Black Cat, who showed up during the final battle, is like, "Should we look for Venom?" And Spider-Man's like, No. That would be too hard and pointless. He could just shapeshift and get away. So we're not even going to try. And then he's like, "Am I just saying that because I want this to all be over?"
I know I want it to be over, so good thing it's over. That was, boy, I was expecting a lot more Carnage for, the maximum level of Carnage that I was promised. There was,
I don't think you could have handled much more Carnage.
I know.
To be fair, I think we got the maximum amount of Carnage that we can deal with.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. No, because, Carnage can do cooler things, not to create fake body doubles of himself like Sub-Zero so we can get out of there. Yeah.
I mean, we already talked about it, but I think we would all prefer minimum Carnage where he shrunk down to tiny size.
Yeah,
I like it when he takes over Norman Osborn's body for Spider-Man 800. And then it's the Goblin Carnage, I think is what it was. I tried to figure out how. I don't remember how we got this. I just read this issue a couple months ago. I don't remember how Norman Osborn got the red Carnage suit, but he did. You guys, so next episode we don't want to read Carnage Unleashed, which is
no. We're gonna take a Carnage break.
Do you want to? Did y'all read what Carnage Unleashed is about?
I did not.
It takes place a year after this. There's a video game that comes out in the Marvel Universe based on the Maximum Carnage event, but Carnage has invaded the microchips and through electricity is attacking the video game players.
Amazing.
No. It's another no from me.
He's just Freddy Krueger at that point. Come on.
And then also, and at the same time, Eddie Brock accidentally paralyzes a musician's boyfriend Clive, and then they ask him to. And then this girl and her mother try to avenge that and kill Venom. And that takes place in the next Venom miniseries, Sinner Takes All. Because apparently Venom did not have a solo series from 92 to 98.
No.
It was all limited series that ended up running like 60 issues. Mostly written by...
We talked about this whenever we did the first Venom limited series.
I thought I remember going to a comic book store and seeing like Venom issue 53, but I must have been wrong. These are all written by Larry Hama, the guy who wrote that Weapon X opening that was like these 90s bullshit comics, and then he goes and writes Carnage Unleashed, so you know.
Oh boy. Okay. All right.
So you know it's good.
Yeah.
Larry Hama wrote a lot of good G.I. Joe comics, I've heard, so I'm not
Yes.
Okay, good job, all of the writers and artists involved with the creation of Maximum Carnage. Some of you are good. I don't know how this happened.
I really feel like the J.M. DeMatteis books may be some of the worst ones, and I thought I liked him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one that
we stuff.
The like heavy-handed philosophical stuff in this storyline is so bad. Like it's kind of his bread and butter, but like in this story, whew.
Yeah. It also like there wasn't a moment that like finished off the book where Spider-Man had to finally make his big decision about who he wanted to be. He just was there while Venom decided to do something, and that's kind of it. Like there was no actual like satisfactory like kind of closing to all of this stuff that he's been dealing with. It just was like, oh, okay, that's it. Which really bothered me, I thought. Unless you guys thought a particular moment did serve that purpose.
Nope.
I mean, no, yeah.
It came close to like being like, okay, this is all going to end with Peter, and he's going to have to defeat all the villains, and then it turns right into Good Bomb like the next page.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very like I like all the hero cameos, but they don't serve a purpose.
They really don't.
And it's not like, oh, you know, they sort of half-assedly, like we mentioned, they kind of do this philosophical thing where like the heroes inspire us all, but it's like, do they though? Like it doesn't really seem like they do because Shriek has like a superpower, so that's that's the only reason that part of the story is there. And they don't serve a bigger like plot purpose except maybe Black Cat and then Venom. Like those are the only ones that do. Mm-hmm. The rest of them are just guest stars to be like, hey, check out our monthly comics. I'm Deathlock. I'm in a book written by Dwayne McDuffie. You might want to read it. And then Nighthawk being like, or Night what? Spawn is like, I'm going to be in a limited series coming soon. I'm a completely original character, and then Morbius also has a ongoing series that's about to debut. So like it's just a jumping off point for a bunch of these characters to just be like, hey, we're gonna be in other books. If you want to read them, read New Warriors. Firestar's in it. She's not as lame as she is right here.
Cool. All right. I think we're just about done with the Maximum Carnage. Anything else we want to say about the Carnage?
Nope.
No. Let's jump into All-Star Superman number 8. This is also a two-parter, second half of a story. Basically, not much happened in the first issue here, or issue 7, excuse me. The Bizarros started attacking, and so Superman went to the planet of the Bizarros, and he met Zibaro. So Zibaro is so alone. He's like the Bizarro. Every once in a while, a Bizarro is just kind of born normal or totally defective, I guess. And he just wants to hang out with Superman back on the Earth planet. We got Bizarro Jor-El up there. Le Rouge, yeah. Superman teaches the Bizarros to like build a society. He has to learn Bizarro speak, and all this me am not blah blah blah. That honestly made this issue really hard to read for me as he was going through. I'm like,
This is where I think like Morrison. My big beef with Morrison is always that he feels like he's being really clever, and like it becomes like a writer exercise. And I do the same shit too.
Yeah.
And then it gets in the way of the storytelling.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like their thing is there are some really fucking great moments in this. Like all the like Bizarro doublespeak doesn't really work for me, but he makes this rousing speech, and then all the Bizarros boo him, and it's amazing. Like I'm like, yes, nailed it, perfect.
Because they love it. Yeah, and then there's one Bizarro, Sabaro, who loves pizza. No, it's Z-Barro, right? And he's like, look, I'm the one normal guy on this planet. Like, you can't reach these people. There's nothing you can do. And Superman's like, unless, and then basically just backwards talks and being like, look, I don't promise this will suck. And they're like, boo.
It's pretty.
I love
pretty
that.
funny.
I love the Bizarro Wonder Woman, which was a baby that they turned into clay.
Yeah, just a clay woman.
And Bizarro Flash, who moves like 2 inches per second or something like that.
He power walks. He's like a little power walker. He's so cool.
His feet are all crooked.
We've got also Bizarro Green Lantern. What was his deal? I don't remember if was it particularly Bizarro or he just kind of looked weird.
Yeah, I don't even remember.
But he basically needs to build a rocket so that he could get back to Earth, right? And so they're really just like building the shitty rickety rocket. It's so like Looney Tunes the way this thing comes together, especially when it's all done. And like part of the problem is that the red sun is coming out, and it's going away. I don't know.
Something about the Bizarro planet is like fucking with the gravity of Earth, and it needs to go.
Yeah, and so Superman is losing his powers.
Yeah, and so by the end of it, he's like weak and sweaty from building this thing, and he's on his knees, and they're having this big celebration. It's some event, I forget what they called it, and they they sing the Bizarro anthem, which is the United States national anthem, but all Bizarro-fied. And they strap Superman to this rocket, and they shoot him home. And that's where that one ends. A little bit of a cliffhanger.
I really love how they back into the cover of this book, though, because that's the cover is Superman strapped to this rocket, this rinky-dink rocket, with Zabaro and another Bizarro like looking on. And I remember reading reading part one last week or last episode, and I think the cliffhanger was something along the lines of he met Zabaro and he met the Bizarro monster, and then you flash and then it's like next issue and it's like he's tied to this rocket. I'm like, oh shit, like Zabaro's going to turn on him. He's going to be this villain, and I'm like, this is cool. I'm going to check this out. This will be really exciting. I remember saying that probably. I don't know if I said that explicitly on the episode. And the way that they completely didn't do that, but still built to that exact same image is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it's a classic, like where Superman would have a cover where he's, forcing Lois to marry an ape or something. And it's like, no, there's a good reason Superman has tricked Lois into marrying a monkey. It's to, save Metropolis.
And it wasn't even like a trick, though, which is kind of like fascinating. Like, this is what Superman wanted. He wanted to be in this perilous situation. It's really cool.
Right. Right, but like that's the whole.
Absolutely.
The cover shows you something, and you're like, "What's going to happen that gets us to this point?"
Yeah,
and it's like that was the plan. And then we also have Lois in a subplot that gets like 2 pages. She talks to that scientist from issue 1.
Leo Quintum.
And he's like, I don't know if I should say anything, but Superman's kind of dying. So even if he gets out of this jam, it's probably not going to be good for him.
Yeah. And he also did mention they are working on a cure for Superman, but nothing's working. So try hard or quit him.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I think that's it for this issue. Anything else we got to bring up? No, I think we're good.
We're in the tail end of All-Star Superman.
Yeah, we only have 4 more left. Yeah, so next time we'll obviously continue with issue number 9 of All-Star Superman. We're also going to read some Teen Titans again. It's been a while since we did that. We're going to read the new Teen Titans Judas contract. This was a story about a mole on the team. I don't know anything else about it, but it's Chris keeps saying it's a pretty well-known story. that I've probably heard referenced at some point or another. So I'll have to wait and see. Because I really, I don't read a lot of DC, but
I don't read either. I just literally hit up the DC Universe app today and was like, "What's some big DC books that I'm not aware of?" And
yeah,
like Teen Titans, Judas Contract. And I'm like, I know Chris loves this Teen Titans era. And,
yeah.
That's going, I would say, a level too far. I like it okay.
You listen to a podcast that talks about Teen Titans, right?
I do. Teen Titans Wasteland, or now it's Tighten Up the Defense. But it started in the 60s with Silver Age Teen Titans.
I thought you were going to say this podcast started in the 60s.
Yeah.
They were ahead of their time.
It's yeah. I listened to the records that he put in this podcast.
Or they started recording in the 60s and just banked a ton of episodes.
But yeah, it's and I have not done a great job of keeping up with it. But it's a comedy podcast where they go issue by issue through Teen Titans, starting in the 1960s, and they are now. I think they're past this issue of New Teen Titans, and then they also started alternating issues of the Defenders in there too. So it's been going for like 3 or 4 years now. So it's a weekly show. So they've dug through a lot of material.
Okay, shout out to them. Make sure you don't listen to them and just listen to our episodes twice.
No, I'm listening
to get our numbers
up.
up.
Yes. Tighten up the defense. Don't not listen, as Bizarro would say.
Hate and unsubscribe.
This story, the Judas Contract, took place in Tales of the Teen Titans 42 through 44, and the New Teen Titans Annual number 3.
Also,
apparently,
it's actually Tales of Teen Titans Annual number 3, but I think it was called New Teen Titans right up until they hit issue 40, and they're like, it's been around a while. Drop the new.
Yeah. Tales of the Teen Titans.
Well, it's even more confusing than that, Vince, because they had Tales of the Teen Titans, and then they had another Teen Titans series, and they were running both. So they were running two different series.
So there was a New Teen Titans book that wasn't the New Teen Titans?
Yes, exactly. Awesome. So like, well, we can't call this New Teen Titans anymore.
All right, so worth mentioning, I said it was Teen Titans 42 through 44 from that era. Some of the trades, I guess, might include 39, 40, and 41 as well, which we thought about maybe reading, except 41 is not even on the DC app, so you can't read 41. So I'm gonna maybe just kind of throw out, hey, you got an option to read 39 through 41 if you've got like a physical trade copy or something, but we're not gonna totally cover those. 42 through 44, and then Annual number 3. That's our thing. We got the Wolfman writing this. We got Perez drawing it, and it's gonna be good. Gonna be a fun one. It can't be worse than Maximum Carnage. That's for sure.
Yeah. Is Maximum Carnage the worst book we've read for this show?
Nope.
No, I feel like there's something worse.
R.I.P.
Not Brand. Well, okay, so those were like I feel like those are a little different because that was like a purposeful comedy book that was like just dumb gags and. Yeah. Like it was supposed to be dumb, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say this is a little worse than that.
Wow.
I'd like even Not Brandech had some like dumb gags. I feel like maybe that were fun.
Yeah, because the art. I mean, Marie Severin's art, I liked for most of that. So
yeah, it was nice, busy art. That was good.
I mean, Batman Year 3 was pretty dreadful.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, we might need to do like a work. That might be fun. We'll figure.
I wasn't thrilled by Weapon X from a few episodes ago.
A bizarro episode. Yeah, but compared to this, Vince.
This, yeah, this was especially. This might have been, I don't know, might have been one of the worst.
We'll have to do a Bizarro episode where we just do like an episode about Squirrel Girl or the
Sins Past.
Steve Ditko Squirrel Girl. Not that good Squirrel Girl.
We'll read some JMS Spider-Man.
Yeah, or just the worst.
Spider-Man, the next chapter.
Sleepwalker, Marvel's answer to Sandman. Something like that, where it's just the best.
That's a great April Fool's plan. We'll put that in the docket.
Yeah. Look forward to that. But next episode, look forward to Chris's favorite comic book of all time, the Judas Contract, and we are done for the day.
What's up with your stupid minds?
Yeah.
Well, we finally released the episode that I think I plugged in at least one of our previous episodes, and so we should have another episode coming soon. It is. I don't know if I should spoil it because it probably won't be out in the next week or two. But it is a Amazon Prime special. We've been doing a lot of Amazon Prime movies. It is very disturbing, so that does not narrow it down.
Yeah, you can tell us next time. We'll be on the edge of our seats waiting for this Amazon Prime disturbance. I'm going to go listen to some Disturbed. Sounds pretty good right now. I'm down with the sickness. Are you guys down with the... I don't know where this outro's going. I'm not going to finish it. Bye, y'all. See you next time.